Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Where we left off. Welcome to the second episode of programming using Scratch. And where we left off last time, we had a cute little square character with eyeballs who could walk on top of ground. He could walk through ground also. But that's pretty much it. Left and right. And kind of come when you let go, he comes to kind of a smooth sliding stop. So pretty cool. And we're going to accomplish two new things today. One, we're going to change his eyeballs so they actually look where he's going. Two, we're going to add this string of code, which will, seems like a lot of code. I cannot seem to figure out a shorter, more compact way to do it. I'm sure there is one. Remember, there's 100 ways to do everything in Scratch. And so, that's what a good thing in some ways, but in other ways, it's completely overwhelming. To my brain, it's overwhelming that there are so many different ways to do the exact same thing, which means there's going to be better ways always. So before you criticize someone's coding, try it yourself for sure from scratch, in Scratch, to see if you can do any better. So let's work with his eyeballs first. And this, I'm going to just kind of freestyle. That's the word. I'm going to freestyle this. So what I think I want to do is make sure our player is selected, go up to the costumes. And right now we only have one costume called straight. What I want to do is use the select tool and just drag. Oh, let's see. That's not what I want to do. Let's just select one eyeball and drag it to the right, and the second eyeball and drag it to the right. That's not what I want to do either. Let's, in the costume window over here, right click and duplicate. That's what we wanted to do. Then in the duplication one, we're going to drag his eyeballs to the right. And I think they'd be a little bit closer together also because he's looking sideways. Technically, you could even change the size to like squish them together, make them a little bit less thick if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm going to call this one right. So I'm looking to the right. Now I'm going to right click and duplicate that one. And I'm going to drag the eyeballs to the left. And guess what I'm going to call this one? Yep, left. Left. Now, while we're here, no, let's just leave it. Let's leave it alone for now. I was debating whether to create one called up and down. Maybe. For now, let's keep it. Let's keep it like this. All right, so let's go back to, we have straight, right, left. Let's go back to coding. Now we have to think logically. So when I press the right arrow, then we're going to make it go right, but we also want it to show that costume. So I'm going to drag this off here because I think we're going to need a if, then, else loop right here. If, then, else. Because if you're not pressing the right key, it should be looking straight ahead, right? So, it's no matter what you select. I was trying to figure out why he was looking right because it was still selected. So right there. Okay, so back to coding. So if we can just drag, we're going to not use this if then block, but we're going to use the code inside of it. So if the right arrow is pressed, then change X by 1, and we're going to go to looks, switch costume to right. Aha. If you're not, switch costume to straight. Bink. Okay, cool. Now we don't need that block anymore. We're going to need another if then else, because if we press the left arrow change X by -1 to go left, but also change the costume, switch the costume to left. So let's just look at the logic here. Right, go right, show right, or show straight. If you press left, go left, and show left, or switch the costume to straight. Will it work? It should work. Let's get rid of that if-then block, and let's put this back where it was, and let's hit, come on, please, 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 hit green arrow. Watch this. Right arrow. Beep. Oh, the right one works. The left one works perfectly. The right one does not work. That's cute. I love it. I like it a lot, but it's not working to the right. What's different between what? Why? So this here's a scratch thing, right? So like logically it should work. What am I missing? If the right arrow is pressed, then change X to 1 and switch costume to right. Maybe it's because we didn't tell it to start with a costume. So maybe we have to, when it starts the game, switch costume to straight. We need to tell it what to start with. Straight. And when I push right, no, that wasn't it. That should have been it. Okay, so just this is a logic problem. So forever, I wonder if that should have been in the forever loop. No, if you press the right arrow, switch the costume to right. What if I tell it to show left? No, nothing changes when and the coding is exactly the same. Right? That is weird. So that's definitely an issue. Should not, let's see, it's logic though, so think logically. When it gets to the bottom of the loop, it goes back to the top, and it's going to switch the costume to straight. I wonder if this needs to be here in the forever loop. Let's try it. No, still the same thing. It doesn't seem to care about that at all. So dump that. So why does left work, but right does not work? Let's look at our costumes again just to make sure that right is different. And it's called right. Straight is straight. Left is left. Is there anything I did wrong on right? I don't think so. So this is what I'm talking about with coding is all about logic. So there's something I'm missing, but sometimes I swear there's like they call it a ghost in the machine, right? A bug. And I really I think that I have it right. The code is exactly the same for both. Why it doesn't do that, I don't know. So I'm going to try to trick it. There's a couple things I'm going to try to do. One is I'm going to change the order of these. It shouldn't matter, but I'm going to try to trick it somehow. Green arrow. Oh, that's weird. Now it turns right, but not left. Okay, but so now I know where the logic is breaking down. It's breaking down between the two. It'll do the first, but not the second. So you can see what I'm trying to do is figure out the logic loop here. So for some reason, it is not jumping. It's only doing the first. No, that's not true. The first one is left arrow. And it's only doing right arrow. Before, it was just the opposite. So it's only doing the second loop. How weird is that? They're both in the forever loop. What the heck am I missing? So it'll turn right, but it won't go left. So it'll do the right side only. It'll do the second loop only. How are these different? If key left and right, then change X by switch costume to, or switch costume to straight. They're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. So how frustrating is that? That's just so weird. So I'm going to save it, try it again. It will not do left arrow. So here's what I'm going to do. Since I just saved it, I'm going to go ahead and just click on any other file that I have, which is, I think, a Mario project I was working on. And we're going to cause it to refresh by, it's going to load this game. And then I'm going to go back to loading this one. And possibly by refreshing, I fixed it. Whoa. Nope. Nope. Okay, well, it didn't do that. So it still only does the second loop. So somehow my coding is wrong. Or the order is wrong. Now, why? How can the order be wrong? If I do this, it should do nothing. It only now it only turns left. It only looks left. So it was always the second one, but now it's the only one. So where's my logic wrong? I think I'm missing something. If you're not pressing left, switch to straight. Oh, it doesn't give you the option. It ends there. It is a logic thing, because when I press left, if I don't press left, it only has the option to go straight. That's it. That's what I told it to do. And it doesn't ever get to the next thing because I told it to be straight. That's weird. So I wonder what happens. That is weird. What if I don't use the if then what else? What if I just do the way it was? If I press left arrow, do these two things. If I press the right arrow, do these two things, and then this is left over what we need. Let's press green. Okay, why did it not go where it's supposed to go? There it goes. Okay, so right, left. Okay, but it never goes straight. Okay. And that's okay. Maybe he's never looking at the camera. That's true. I wanted him to look at the camera when he's not moving. But it's working now. So that was it. I worked that logic out. But what if I put it what if I put it all inside an if then else loop? Oh my gosh. So all of that. No, that won't work. I don't think. No. Yeah, there's nothing in that box right there. So it's something I have to decide. Do I care? In a side scroller, okay, so think of Super Mario Brothers. I'm justifying not figuring this out is what I'm doing. Super Mario, he never looks at the camera. He's always going right or left. I hate that I can't figure that out for now, but I do want to move on. So, all right, we're going to move on. The decision is he's never looking at the camera. He's always looking left or right, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe later we'll figure the logic out of that. So, okay, next we're going to add this long code block, and you can just copy these and put them in. And so what we do is we add one at a time here. So this is right below that. If touching, because what happens is what we have is the issue of him running through the ground. So we need to add multiple codes, and there's again some logic here. So there are 6 identical codes, and then one that says, so they're each change y by 1, which add up to 6. And then there's a last one that says change y by -6, which balances those out. And then change x by x times -1. Don't worry about understanding. I tried it without. I tried it with less. It doesn't work. So if touching the ground, change y by 1. And what that means is exactly what happens here. Watch this. If I'm touching the ground, although I am on the grass, but if I touch the dirt, it floats up 1. Okay, until it's no longer. So really, what that did is, if you watch my character, it touched the ground and then went up 1, and then touched the ground and went up 1, touched the ground, went up 1. It kept doing that over and over because it's in a forever loop until it was at the top of the dirt and no longer touching. Whoops, if I stay right there. There we go. Until it's no longer touching the ground. So what we need to do is right-click and duplicate that 6 times. So you end up with a block that looks like this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you duplicated it 6 times, you would also have this last one. But the last one is a little different. So if you focus in on that, it has change y by -6 instead of 1. And then it also has a change x by with the operator that is times. And it's x, which is your variable, times -1. And then choose down here under variables, set x to 0. And at the very end, change y by y. Okay, so there's some math there. And let's put that right there. Let's see what happens. So green flag. Hopefully my eyeballs look left, right. And when I run into the wall, bink, it stops. So that is what we wanted to happen. So he's looking. That's awesome. And he cannot go through walls any longer. So that's what we wanted to accomplish in this episode. So nice job. We've got now more costumes for our character. Gives him a little bit of personality. And he can no longer just run through walls. And so that is it for this episode. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time. Please join me. But for now, Mr. Johns is out.